Hey everyone, so if you are a Sephora Rouge member, today is your lucky day because the Sephora sale, that is hard to say, has started and you are able to start saving 20% off starting today. If you are a VIB, that's me, our sale starts later and that's 15% off. And Beauty Insiders will be able to save 10% off later as well. The exact dates and everything I just mentioned will be down in the description box. I did ask over on Instagram a few days ago, what were you interested in hearing about if I were to give Sephora recommendations? And I got some very specific requests as well as some very broad ones. There was a lot overwhelming for skincare, self-care, self-indulgent type stuff. Quite a few requests for luxury and some basic things. So I'm just gonna go through it. I've broken it down into categories. So if you see me looking down, I'm referencing my 3-page long list and everything will be in the description box with the links and with the full prices listed. So just apply your own discount where applicable. Here we go. Let's start in the makeup category with eyeshadow. I am a big fan of Viseart. And I have to say the criteria when I was picking things out were really unique and outstanding quality, of course. Items that I'm particularly familiar with. I don't want to recommend things that I don't know what I'm talking about. For the most part, you'll see why in a minute. And that are an attainable price point, except for the splurge items. So Viseart, not just any Viseart, but specifically their smaller palettes. Now I have two, I've raved about them before. And disclaimer, these are not exactly the palettes because I have taken them apart and re-put them back together. So the two I have to show you are the Viseart Petite Pro Palettes 1 and 4, except these little shades pop out. And so I put all the shades I use the most in this palette and then the least in this palette, except that's not even true. And what I'm wearing today is a combination of both of those palettes. Now, they also have a Petite Pro 3 that I don't have that looks very interesting. Those are my shades. And I also want to talk about their Edit palettes that are newer. The Paris Edit, the Warm Edit, and the Rose Edit. They give you a lot of shadow for your money, and I think they're all very wearable shades. And what I especially like is, obviously, they're travel friendly. That will happen again. We are optimistic. And like I mentioned, you can pop these little suckers out. See, look, I popped him out. And so ultimately, if you collect all of these, you really could pull all of these out and put them into some sort of little magnetic palette. I also really like the Theory palettes. They're slightly bigger. I believe the one I'm drawn to is Cashmere. I feel like I owned one of these before. I've looked all over my house. I guess I decluttered it. More eyeshadow that I very much recommend. This is exclusive to Sephora. I've talked about it before. It's the Sephora I Love palette. I have the shade Medium Cool. Yes, I am reading this off the back. It says medium cool. I know it doesn't look medium cool. I assure you it is. These are very inexpensive, very budget friendly, and they have different neutral palettes, and then there's a jewel tone, very bright one if that's your thing. Definitely, I think a great price, full price, and then of course, if you have a discount, even better. Now, Natasha Denona is generally considered a big splurge, but she has their smaller palettes, like the Camel palette. I reach for this all the time. My friend Amanda, Lux Mommy, let me play with hers when we were sharing a hotel room together last year, and I fell in love, and I love this. My only complaint is that these two shades are very, very similar, and Natasha Denona is kind of known for that. There's a new mini nude palette that I also recommend. It's more like it's on my wish list. And again, it does have two shades that are very similar, but these are very creamy, buttery, really pigmented. And we will get back to Natasha, or however she wants to say her name, in just a moment. I did get a very specific request for a highlighter that was not too shiny and good for more mature skin. And there are two that I would like to recommend to you. The first one I'm pretty sure is exclusive to Sephora, and it's the Fenty Beauty Highlighter, specifically the Kilowatt, they're all called Kilowatt. The one in Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal. As you can see, one side is very much loved, and that is the less shimmery side, but you also get one that does have a lot more shimmer on the other side, which gives you some opportunity to play. These are very versatile, and I have used them as lid shades as well. They do come in other colors if you are deeper complected or you just want something different for your highlighter. There are quite a few options, but I love this duo, and it's a really good buy for the money, even at full price. I'm gonna stop saying that because it's just repetitive. Another one that I kind of forgot I had as I was looking through my drawers, and I'm gonna be using this a lot more. It's the Laura Mercier Matte Radiance Baked Powder. Now this is a mini, so don't freak out when I tell you it's $44. It's in the shade Highlight 01. It's a very beautiful, soft, it almost looks like powder on the hand, and you're really not gonna see much on my skin, and that's kind of the point. But when you apply it to the face, to the high points, it's a nice sheen, and it's especially nice for more mature skin, more dry skin, any skin that has wrinkles or creases. It's very forgiving. It's very lightweight because it's baked. And then the last one that I want to recommend is one that I love. I mean, can you see that I love it? It's from Charlotte Tilbury. It's the Beauty Light Wand, and it has the sponge tip. I've talked about this a lot. It does come in other colors. Spotlight is the one that I prefer for the highlight, and it has a golden sort of sheen to it. There we go. There we go. See how pretty that is? What I really like about it, here's a little trick. I can't remember who recommended this. You can layer this over your concealer. I know, on top of your wrinkles and creases, and it just deflects the light in such a beautiful way. It makes them go away. It defies logic. Just a little tip. Moving on, I got another request for a lipstick recommendation that's nude, but not matte. And I only have one because I don't love nude. And that is the Clinique Lip Color Pop in the shade Beige Pop. I'm wearing it now. Now I'm wearing more. It's definitely a warmer nude with pink in it. I mean, when you put it on the hand, it definitely looks more pink, at least on me. But it is a nude shade. If you use a more nude lip liner, it's going to be even more nude. It's very creamy. It has primer built in. It's going to last all day, but it's not glossy. So there you go. That's my one nude lip recommendation. Now, sticking with lip recommendations, this is more of a wish list, though. I can't tell you that it's great, but it's on my wish list and sitting in my basket, and those are the Pat McGrath lip glosses. They look incredible. They're $28 full price, so a little higher for a lip gloss, but not insane. And particularly, there are 2 mini sets where you get a set of 3, and those are $25 each. And I think that is a really good way to sample the Pat McGrath line. You can purchase a Pat McGrath product and not spend $128, which you can. We're gonna talk about that later. Since I brought up Charlotte Tilbury, all of it. I recommend all of it, but if I had to pick 3, obviously the highlighter, but even before that, number 1 would be the Hollywood Contour Wand. I use this, when I put on a full face of makeup, I use it every day. I'm wearing it today. I use it to contour. I contour my jawline, which I need it more and more. Each week we're in quarantine, I gain at least another pound. Gotta stop eating the Lucky Charms. Anyway, here I do the sides of my nose, I do the cheekbones, and if I wanna add some more warmth to my face, I do it up here. Blend it in with a BK Beauty brush. I think it's the 106 that I use. You'd think I'd remember by now. I just love it. It's so user-friendly. I use the Fair to Light one. There is a more medium to deep tone. I also really, really love the Beauty Light wand that I just recommended in other shades. I have Peach Gasm, and I really want to get the Pink Gasm. It comes in and out. Right now, Pink Gasm is available, so it's also sitting in my cart. I would be remiss if I did not recommend probably my favorite product and the most unique to the line. It is her Eyes to Mesmerize Cream Shadows, and they are the most unique cream shadow I've ever tried. They're very light and almost moussey, but they dry down beautifully and so user-friendly. Let's hop back to Fenty. So I recommended the Killawatt highlighter. Also on my wish list are 2 more products, her Matchsticks matte cream stick thingies. I'm curious, just from a curiosity point of view, to use one as a contour in the shade Amber. It's like a cool toned, deeper shade, and it looks like a big concealer crayon that you can just kind of pinpoint. I've heard great things, so I'm curious to try that. She has some eyeshadow palettes that are $25 that look, 2 of them look particularly appealing. I'd love to hear feedback from y'all. If anyone has tried them, please let me know. I'm particularly interested in the True Neutrals palette. One other normal priced, I would want to say, makeup line that I have to recommend because it rarely goes on sale are all the Wander Beauty products, particularly the powder foundation. It's been a #1 seller out of my audience for weeks and weeks. Today's one of the first days I'm not actually wearing it. It's fabulous, and unlike Nordstrom, they do have the full shade range available at Sephora. So if you can pick it up on sale, that's great. When I do wear more foundation, this was the first product that I used from Wander Beauty, their Nude Illusion foundation. It's my absolute, I want to say absolute favorite. It's like picking a favorite child, but it's one of my absolute favorite foundations. And I wear it in the shade Fair Light. I'd also have to pick for the most bang for your buck. Their double-ended concealer. You get a solid concealer on one end and then the liquid foundation on the other. So you can get a lot out of this. Those are the top three that I would recommend. All right, let's get through skincare. Not as much because I haven't tried as much skincare from Sephora, so I don't want to recommend something that I'm not pretty familiar with. So I'm just gonna start grabbing stuff. So with skincare, I do like using a face oil cleanser as my first step. And one I've used a long time ago that I really liked was the Kopari, what was it actually called? Coconut Rose cleansing oil. It's great. The one I'm currently using and at almost the end of it, and I really like, is a little more expensive. It's the Dermalogica Pre-Cleanse. It's fabulous. I recommend both because I have very sensitive skin and neither of them break me out. I got a lot of requests for mask recommendations. You can't go wrong with Peter Thomas Roth. The two that I use the most, I'm not out, but it's getting there, is the Pumpkin Enzyme Mask, and I just opened my backup of the Rose Stem Cell Mask. I'm sorry, he's snoring. But if you really want to get, like I said, a bang for your buck and just experience more, I think they're selling one set right now with a sampling of 6 of them at least. And I think that's probably your best investment if you're unfamiliar with the brand. Otherwise, I'd say just get the one you like the most and go for it. One of my all-time favorite masks are the SK2 masks. They are pricey. I actually ordered these from YesStyle not too long ago, and the price point is good, but they take a long time to get here. So if you can snatch them up at Sephora, I recommend it. But another mask that I really, really like, it's a tad less expensive and very effective. Now, Wrigley's decided to chime in, are the Shiseido, I think they're called the White Lucent Brightening Masks. They're very effective if what you're looking for is to brighten and even your tone. I love them, and they are at Sephora. And then I have to mention these eye masks. I have them in gold and rose gold. I mean, you can kind of see them here from Wander Beauty. I think you get a set of 6 in a box, and they are quite effective. They stay in place, and you know what? They're just fun to wear. So I wanted to recommend those as well. Yes, I am a fan of Wander Beauty. What can I say? Moving on to sun. I have used up half this bottle, so I can speak with authority that this is a great idiot-proof sunless tanner. It's the Isle of Paradise self-tanning drops. I got them in the shade medium. They are goof proof. I've never streaked using these. How I do it is I mix it with, the body lotion I like mixing it with is the Neutrogena Hydrogel one that's like colorless and whatever. I use 2 full droppers per each part of my leg and 1 full dropper for my arm. I tried it on my face, it broke me out. I do want to try the deep because I don't think it gets me as dark as the darkest one that is my go-to, which is the Saint Tropez, which I will also recommend. My favorite is the Bronzing Mousse Express, and I don't wash it off after 3 hours. You can, I just sleep in it overnight. And I can say that Saint Tropez I can use all over my face and body and it never breaks me out, and I love it. But what I generally use for my face is the mist. Love the mist. I mean, it's so user-friendly. It's a brand new one. That, you shake it up, you can put it over makeup. There, I have just tanned. It's that user-friendly. You can put it over makeup, you can put it over freshly cleansed skin. It's amazing. Also, I've talked about this before. They have a large, this is a newer formula, but a large version for body, so you can get your back and what have you. I'm a big fan of the Saint Tropez sunless tanning products. Then for more pampering type stuff, bath time. That's how I pamper myself. I don't know how many bottles of these I've gone through. This would make a really nice Mother's Day gift with maybe some matching lotion and stuff. It's the L'Occitane Lavender Foaming Bath, especially lavender right now. It's just so chill and calming. I have to talk about what I just took a bath. Now my exact scent is not currently available. This is the amber one. These are the Laura Mercier honey baths, and what they currently have available is the creme brulee honey bath. Now I don't have that, but I do have the creme brulee body cream, which is, I think I might like better than the amber. I don't know, but all of these Laura Mercier body and bath items, I have many of them, are definitely high on my list, whether for yourself, graduation present, Mother's Day present, wedding shower, baby shower, gift to yourself, what have you. I love them. And sticking with that, also this bad boy from L'Occitane, the big almond milk jar. Love it. Now on my wish list, I haven't tried it, but everyone loves the Sol de Janeiro line, the Bum Bum Cream, the wash, everything. They do sell a little set where you can sample, I think it's the lotion, the body wash, and one other thing. That I would recommend if you're not familiar with the brand, and then you can try it all. That's in my cart as well. And then for hair care, I don't have a lot because frankly, I don't use a lot from Sephora. So I do like all the Dry Bar stuff. All their products that I've tried, they're nice. Do you need to run out and buy them? No. What I do recommend is the Living Proof Perfect Hair Day line. I love their shampoo. I just pulled this right out of my shower, and I love their 5-in-1 styling treatment. Just pulled this right out of my medicine cabinet. Also, the conditioner is really nice, but I like the Colleen Rothschild one a little bit better. But it's still really nice, especially if you can get it on sale. And then for hair styling, I'm not gonna recommend the Beach Waver because all they have is the Pro. It's $200 full price. I would recommend specifically, I have to read this, it's long, the T3 Twirl Trio Interchangeable Clip Curling Iron Set. Woo! It's $275 full price. Now hear me. Okay, so it's $75 more than the Beach Waver, but you get the base of the curling iron and you get 3 of these guys. You get a 1-inch, a 1 1/4, which is this one, and a 1 1/2. And then you are able to still get wands, other things that you can stick in this thing. So I think it is an incredible value, especially if you're Rouge and you can get it for 20% off. I would recommend this over the Beach Waver. And then I have saved Splurge for last because I just feel weird about recommending this at this time. But if you are in a place where you feel like you want to splurge, I don't have a long list. For me, it's eyeshadow. I feel like almost anything else you can get somewhere else and you don't have to splurge. But the Natasha Denona Gold palette, Biba palette, and Star palette have all been sitting in my cart for years, as has the Pat McGrath Mothership palette in Midnight Sun. I have yet to pull the trigger on them. It's just hard. They all range between $125 for the Mothership palette, $129 for Gold and Biba, and the Star is $169. Now, everyone who owns them says they're amazing quality. I don't feel like I'm missing out just yet for not having it. If somebody owns any of those, please tell me, is it worth it? Because obviously I'm intrigued. Every time there's a sale, I sit and stare at it. Obviously, there are tons more products that are amazing at Sephora. There are tons more beauty YouTubers with lots more in-depth knowledge of specific products like skincare or hair care that you can watch as well. And I definitely recommend doing that. If you choose to follow my recommendations and particularly use my links, thank you. Thank you. It is really, really appreciated. I did get the question, if I only had a $100 budget, what would I pick? I come from the Dolly Parton philosophy of more is more. So I would go with the lower price items and just get more stuff. So I would feel a little more fulfilled. So I will probably end up with a Pat McGrath lip gloss, another Viseart Pro palette, and the Sol de Janeiro Bum Bum set. That puts me right around $75. And then I'd probably throw in the Dermalogica Pre-Cleanse. That's $45. That puts me over $100, but that's not my discount. But once you apply discount and tax, I think I'm right at $100. And that's where I would be. So that's because I need the oil. I don't need the other stuff, but I do need to, I'm running out. So that's my list, at least I think. Keep watching so you can find out what I actually buy from the sale, because that is the budget I am setting for myself. As always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for choosing to spend the time that you have, some of it with me. I do really appreciate it. Thank you in advance if you are choosing to use my links. I really, really, really appreciate that. Have fun shopping. If you're one of the ones that are, let us know what you got. I love living vicariously through you guys and hearing all the fun stuff that you are getting, and I will share what I get with you when it arrives. As always, particularly now, stay well, be well, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.